Welcome to the Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I'll stomp your grounds. I'm Jem.
You listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast service of choice, and we are on the YouTubes at 9 a.m. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, you can head over to social media's links are in the description below. That includes the Facebook group. That includes the Discord. That includes... the Twitter. And we are also on Patreon at patreon.com/thepopculturist, where you, at any dollar amount, can watch us record this show live, just like a couple of people are right now.
Yes.
If you want to support Pop Culturist in more direct one-off fashion, head to thepopculturist.com/shop. We can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it, like this. And I did also notice I found a website recently that does hats and beanies. I think I might be shameless and make some hats and or beanies.
Yes.
But I did have a look and it's like fucking like $75
Oh, dang.
for a hat. Because, you know, it's designed to be like, you want to print 30 hats? That makes it like $20 a hat.
Yeah.
You want to print one hat? That's fucking $80, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, how much do I want to spend $80 on a hat? Kind of do. We asked for twitch.tv/popculturist, where the Wednesday before every pay-per-view, we stream the predictions for the upcoming pay-per-views
via 2K19.
Speaking of pay-per-views, this episode is about WWE's Stomping Ground, first of its name.
Yes, yeah, it's the first ever, the inaugural Stomping Grounds.
So this is essentially what Backlash was meant to be earlier in the year, but they've shifted Money in the Bank up. They've moved this down, gave it a new name and a shitty logo, and we're like, new show. Not gonna lie, I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know about this. It's a rematch city. Yeah, that's certainly true. Like, that's one of the biggest hesitations going into this pay-per-view is it's just chock full of rematches. Mm-hmm. As we talk about, like the likes of Kofi versus Dolph, Drew versus Roman, Shane McMahon doing nothing, but he was there because
Becky versus Lacey.
Becky versus Lacey. You know, there's a lot going on there that we've seen before.
Everybody versus everybody again.
Yeah, you're like, hey, you get to go in. And the problem here is like this did happen come to like 2 weeks after Super Showdown.
Yeah,
so
which meant jack shit.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of time here to establish a story because they were, by the looks of it, you know, coerced into to push Super Showdown as this bigger than WrestleMania thing. Building up to that, there was more focus on Super Showdown. Now they mentioned Stomping Grounds prior to it, but it was very clearly not the focus. So we'll go general thoughts and then we'll break it down into each match. So what did you think of the pay-per-view?
Well, initially I was quite hesitant. I did throw out a tweet like, I don't know if I can be bothered watching this, and I got a bunch of feedback like, no, it's great, you have to watch it, it's really good. I went through the hashtag a little bit and everything seemed positive. So I was like, all right, I'm convinced. First match of the night, I was like, okay, damn, yeah, okay, this is good. This is a good start. So I continued to watch. And I was like, okay, WWE, okay, I see what you're doing here. You got this. Yeah, overall it was great. Like, to me, it did sort of slow down a little bit towards the end of the show, but for the most part, I was really well engaged, and I'm really happy with how well they presented this new pay-per-view. Like, the first one, it's so far the best one they've done. They did really good with it.
It's certainly like a mid-tier show. Yeah. Like, you know, you've got their top four. You know, your WrestleMania, your Survivor Series, your SummerSlam, and your Royal Rumble. Yeah. And then you've got your next line, like your Money in the Banks and your Extreme Rules and your Hell in a Cell, and then this is Stomping Ground underneath that. Like, it kind of fits that fill-in sort of pay-per-view.
Yeah, definitely gives you that roller coaster.
Yeah, so for that reason, like, as you said, expectations were low.
Yeah.
Like, I had no massive thoughts going into this. I was like, rematch city, I'm probably going to hate most of this.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
I kind of dug it. Like, it started quick. It started right off with a bit of a banger match, and then there was limited fluffing about. Like, at least for the first half. Yeah. Like, it was just match, small backstage thing, like minute backstage thing, match. You know, and then like there was that there, and there was some video package and stuff later when you can clearly tell they were transitioning to get the cage ready and that sort of stuff. Like, like, it was still not overbearing.
Yes.
It was quite nice and tidy.
It was really well paced too. So we've spoken a lot about how their pacing can be quite off and everything can either be too close together or it's dragged out too long. It was really, really, like, it flowed really well, and I was engaged the entire time. Yeah,
there are a couple of matches that still didn't get my full attention, and that happens. Like, that's part of this. So, that gives me moments to go to the bathroom, which is really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you have to do ways.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's move into the card.
I've got it all here.
You've got it all here?
I do. So, kickoff show was the Cruiserweight Championship. There was Tony Nese versus Akira Tozawa versus Drew Gulak.
Yep.
Gulak ended up taking it out. I did watch it.
So I didn't actually see the match, but it did end with Tony Nese on the apron. Gulak with a G? Gulak.
G-U-L-A.
Gulak getting the bus on Tony Nese, knocking him out of the ring, and Tozawa taking the pin, which is cool. So it means that Tony Nese sort of can still be in the picture.
Yes.
Because from all accounts, he's been a better chaser than he's been a champion.
Yeah.
So maybe that's going to work in his advantage. Yeah.
Definitely. So that brings us into the main card, which was
surprisingly.
Yeah. It was at the Tacoma Dome. In Tacoma, Washington.
That wasn't surprising. That was pretty straight.
Yeah, we knew that one. But yeah, so first match off the bat, Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Raw WWE Championship. Decent match. I was really impressed with how Becky went this time. How Lacey went this time. Lacey, I'm really impressed. I'm seeing more of her, especially in this match. She really got a chance to properly wrestle. It was really good, especially because she has a height advantage on Becky as well and the strength advantage over Becky. But ultimately, Becky got the disarmer on her and she tapped in seconds. I think it was the second or third disarmer in the match.
Yeah.
And within seconds, Lacey was like, no, I'm out. So Becky did retain.
It was a good match to start it. Because it got full advantage of that because no matter what show you watch, there is a minor bit of excitement that comes at the start of a pay-per-view. It's like, ooh, what are we gonna see? And if the start's strong, it kind of works that way. So seeing Becky, I was like, oh shit, this was later in the card. Same thing as WrestleMania when nope, it's Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, and you're like,
right now.
shit, give me that now, now. So it's that same sort of excitement level, which is really cool. So even though the match was certainly not brilliant.
It wasn't horrible.
There was Lacey showed a lot of green.
Yeah.
A lot of fumbles, a lot of missed spots. Becky having to call out her
I did
a lot.
Notice that, yeah.
It's a bit of a bummer, but it's still kind of enjoyable. And this is the only downside with this rematch is this is exactly the result we thought we were going to get.
Yeah.
So it's literally no surprises there.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer, but it was fine. And I do think that Lacey is getting better, as you
definitely.
said. But I certainly don't think she's in line for a belt worthy at this point, and she got thrown into that a little too early. I still think that's the case. And she can talk the talk. In terms of her character side is pretty on point. It's really
she's coming into her own there as well.
Yeah, it's really it's coming together and it's working. Like I said, the lady versus the man. I've said before, that works as an idea, and they seem to be executing it well. So I got. It's that part's fine,
and I'll give her credit. She looks super cute.
Yeah,
her pinstripes and stuff, super.
Yeah, it was very awesome. I'm a big fan of that. I did think this was going to be the end of this feud.
So did I.
However, it looks to be different, which we'll get to a little bit later. Killer in the chat jumps in and goes, "I'm glad Gulak finally got the title. He had a very solid 2018 and continued the momentum into 2019. Awesome."
Beautiful. So next we had a little Mustafa Ali promo video.
Yeah, apparently he can just make people not drink booze. He's looks at them and they go, I've wasted my life.
I'm gonna put this away.
I will stop punching this man on the street.
Yeah. And then it cuts backstage to Kayla is outside of Baron Corbin's office. She mentions she has seen Paul Heyman go in there. At some point, in which she catches him coming out. And he gives the whole I don't want to be a referee. I'm not interested in being a referee thing again. But he knows that Baron Corbin will choose a referee. He's going to call it down the middle, and he trusts that he's going to do that. And he's like, maybe Brock's here, maybe not. The whole same shit. And then she catches Baron as he walks out, and same thing. Baron's like, I've got a referee. Of course I do. I'm not telling you who it is, but they're going to call it down the middle and be fair and rah, rah, rah. Claims he doesn't need a special guest referee to help him beat Seth. He just needs a competent referee. And this brings us into our second match of the night, which is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Xavier Woods and Big E of the New Day.
What a fucking match.
What a match. Holy shit.
This did not go the way I thought it was going to. So
No,
impressively, the match kicked off. The second that bell hit, Kevin Owens just kicked the living fuck out of like it was relentless. Like those
he dominated Xavier Woods at the
like
start.
it was like 3 super kicks plus a moonsault and then a tag and then and I think it was another super kick again.
He was just
spectacular.
KO was on it. I was really impressed. I was like
Excuse me.
on the edge of my seat, like freaking out, like no, come on. Like I was like hammering for Big E and Xavier, but at the same time I was like, yeah, fuck. Get him, KO. Like,
yeah, because this is Big E's big return on pay-per-views.
Yes.
Since he's fucked Nese, so having him come back was very, very cool.
They all performed amazingly.
They literally, like, credit to Kevin and Sami. They cut the ring in half. Like, they did not let Zayn get across.
Nah, not at all. They did.
They held him in that corner for what felt like forever. And then he did manage to get across, and Big E did get the tag in at one point, and he proceeded to like snap suplex everyone for a little while, which was awesome.
Yeah, so good. Look, you know a match is good when the crowd is chanting at the top of their lungs, like blowing the roof off with "This is awesome." Like it was just the entire match was just "This is awesome," like the entire time. But ultimately, Owens did get the win with a stunner.
Yeah, so he dropped a stunner on.
I believe it was
Xavier Woods. Yeah. Not the result I predicted.
Neither.
By any stretch. It was awesome.
Yeah, but this did predict a later match for me in the card. Obviously, with the New Day dropping, I was immediately like,
it was going one way or the other. Yeah. But I was saying, I thought that the New Day were going to go in strong, having won the last 2 matches, whether it be as a tag team or in that singles match. Yep. They had come out with, both Sami and Kevin Owens have eaten some pins in the last couple of weeks.
They have.
So I thought for that reason, when they move into this pay-per-view, or when they move into this match, there's going to get pushed over again. Yeah. But instead, it's gone the other way. This lit a fire in them. They're able to come out and just fucking tear apart.
Yeah.
And
beautifully.
And Kevin Owens just had this face of a killer.
Yeah, he had a Samoa Joe face on him.
Yeah, he had that determination face ready to fuck someone up.
He was out for
did.
blood. So this got backstage to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross having a chat. Basically, the whole consensus of the conversation was like, Nikki, it's always been you against the world, and me against the world, but now it's us against the world. Like Alexa trying to solidify this friendship. Obviously, Alexa's match later in the card, Nikki was
ringside.
Yeah, ringside for her. She was going to be in her corner. So yeah, just a bit of fluffing about, basically saying it was just you and me on our own against the world, and now we're together against the world. Bit cute. But we all know Alexa's track record with friends. So, she's a bit shit.
She's a bit shit.
Yeah, she's a bit shit. I wouldn't call her a friend. But yeah, she looked amazing, by the way, though. Like Alexa Bliss always does. But damn, like I'm gorgeous. Love the darker makeup. So next was Ricochet versus Samoa Joe for the United States Championship.
Yeah, another brilliant match.
Yeah, brilliant. So Ricochet did win earlier in the week. What was it? It was a 5-man.
Yeah, it was a 5-man elimination match, which gave him the opportunity to take on Samoa Joe for the United States Championship.
Yes.
Beat the likes of, I think it was Cesaro.
Yeah, Cesaro, The Miz. It came down to him and The Miz. It was Cesaro, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman and The Miz and Ricochet. And then, so I believe Braun got out Cesaro, then Bobby Lashley. And then, they helped Ricochet get the pin on Braun Strowman. And then it was Ricochet versus Miz, and Miz won.
Aside from Ricochet kind of fumbling in his intro, landed on his face a little bit. But other than that, he recovered well and kicked a solid butt.
Absolutely beautiful match. Holy shit. Ricochet took a beating and still managed to come out on top. Ricochet is the new United States champion. Yeah.
There was some really good, this Ricochet has nicely come in and filled the void of Rey Mysterio in this. So using the same sort of balance that Joe and Rey had, Ricochet's snuck on in, done the same thing. For that reason, though, I really thought Joe was just going to fucking yank
Just
him out of
mush
the,
him.
yank him out of the sky, choke the fucker out, and then be like, Bush, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But no,
Not
it
happen.
did not go that way.
Every time I was like, oh, Joe's got this. Ricochet just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was good.
It was amazing. But
Pretty
yeah,
impressive for Ricochet to be sort of called up in the last, what? Well, so he's been around a while, but he's only been a singles competitor for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And to, even though the US Championship doesn't mean a whole lot right now,
it's huge. It's
very
huge thing
cool
now.
for him to have a belt within 2 months.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a big fan of
It's
that.
definitely huge. So yeah, he got this beautiful double knees into the 630 splash for the win.
Oh, yeah, and hey Dash too, by the way. I
Hey,
didn't see you there
Dash.
before. It's right on right time to say hey.
So yeah, beautiful. Next match was the Planet's champions, the new Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Daniel Bryan is a Washington boy, so obviously Tacoma being in Washington, the roof blew. That place blew up when he came out. The Daniel Bryan chants throughout the whole match,
and some other chants there were like sort of eco-related. One was like buy a Tesla.
Recycling chants, it was absolutely beautiful. Tacoma lost their minds for him, which you wouldn't expect. Daniel's the bad guy, but hometown hero still. Beautiful. Absolutely magical. It was so funny to watch this match, which I love Heavy Machinery, but Heavy Machinery, everything they did, they were booed. Everything Otis did to Daniel Bryan at the start of that match was a boo, and every time Daniel got the upper hand, it was a It was just, the tables were fully turned, and it was amazing. I loved it.
I thought this match was also pretty fantastic too.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
It made me remember, like I said, I never forgot that Daniel Bryan was brilliant, but because we don't see him as often anymore, I'm like, oh, I remember why you're brilliant.
Yeah,
last week, before when he took on Seth Rollins, I'm like, oh,
yeah, absolutely beautiful.
And this is exactly that as well. And
he
what I
is one of the
really
best
enjoyed
wrestlers
here,
in WWE.
yeah, by far, in terms of the technical wrestling, without a doubt. It was nice seeing Rowan and Tucker go one-on-one.
Yeah.
Sort of big man on big man was very, very cool.
Yeah.
Otis was rad.
Yeah.
Because one of the big things with Daniel on commentary last week for SmackDown was something about how the compactor makes no sense, because if it was me, I would just move.
Yeah.
Which I think's fantastic. And then sure enough, not the compactor, sorry, the Caterpillar.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Caterpillar comes in and mushes Daniel Bryan in the face. So I really dug that. It's just this good sort of little jibber-jabbing at each other and then helping,
so
Heavy Machinery get over.
Yeah.
And they did have a handicap by coming in Washington.
Yeah, exactly it.
I imagine anywhere else, they would have got some love.
Yeah, exactly it. But yeah, ultimately the Planet's champions did retain their titles. Daniel Bryan got a roll up on Tucker somehow and got the win, which was beautiful. Obviously, the Tacoma Dome loved that. They blew up.
Yeah, there was no way
there was no way they were losing in Daniel Bryan's hometown.
Saying that, though, I do think they certainly could have, and I think it would have still gone down reasonably well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of those,
as much as they were getting booed, they still would have.
There is something exceptional to losing strong, and I do certainly think Heavy Machinery lost strong here as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think Daniel would and Rowan would have done the same. But there's the other situation of what would they do with Daniel and Rowan if they weren't champs right
exactly,
now? As Dash mentioned in the dirt sheet last week, was that Daniel's looking at taking a more of a part-time role in a couple of years. I do certainly think this would have been a good way to transition into that. Yeah. But saying that is that it's not for a couple of years.
Yeah. So he's still got some
time. So it makes
sense
for them to retain at this point.
Exactly it. So next was the Alexa Bliss versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship with Nikki Cross in Alexa's corner. It was split down the middle. It was half the crowd wanted Bayley to win, half the crowd wanted Alexa to win. There was the mix, let's go Alexa, let's go Bayley, back and forth with the crowd. I love how involved the crowd were tonight. This is probably the best I've seen a crowd in a pay-per-view in a long time.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Later on, we get AEW chants and we get "This is awful."
Yeah,
and there are the bunch of very vocal chants.
Yes,
but they were very loud.
Yeah, they were so good.
Which is impressive because as Dash unloaded onto me in terms of some details. The attendance was disgusting.
Oh, wow.
As in they literally just curtained off the whole hard cam side.
Oh, yeah, I did see
it was
that.
Just there and a little bit around the corner. Because you noticed like every shot.
I did see the photo.
None of them covered that left hand
I saw the
side.
photo somebody posted, and it's like crowd here, and then
it's like the disgusting attendance.
Yeah, ridiculous. But those who didn't go, they missed out clearly because that was an amazing pay-per-view.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah, but anyway, brutal, good match. And I kind of zoned out. I'm not really into the whole like Alexa Bliss Bayley feud. I don't know.
I was into it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was like, this is some good wrestling, and I was enjoying it. But for the most part, I was kind of like zoned out. I don't know. I'm really weird on Bayley at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't find her that engaging, and I think that's why I zoned out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like all three thumbs up for Alexa Bliss. That's not a concern. And Bayley's good. And for me, it was like, Bayley's not losing the belt just yet.
Nah, definitely
especially
not.
Seeing as Alexa is technically a Raw competitor, superstar. So it was this weird line. So there's a weird line coming into this. It's like, well, if she is in fact a Raw superstar, why is there not a SmackDown woman involved with this feud? Because really, why don't put Alexa in the ball with Becky?
Yeah.
And put the likes of your Ember Moons,
Alexa's got the blonde hair and stuff.
Mandy and Sonya. Like, why not do that? Be the opposite of Charlotte. Like, it's a short blonde woman rather than a tall blonde woman.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be a way they could have gone about it as well.
Mandy's the same sort of thing. Same thing.
Mandy Rose. Yep. It's certainly there.
Yeah. Oh, look, I get it. Alexa's amazing at what she does.
She's fucking brilliant,
and she looked gorgeous, like I was saying. Like, absolutely gorgeous to boot. But there was a very controversial little scuffle there where Bayley did a suicide dive through the middle rope at Alexa while she was being checked on outside the ring by Nikki Cross. What looked like Nikki shoved Alexa out of the way and took the brunt of the dive from Bayley. They did replay it, and it did look like Alexa did the shoving to get herself out of harm's way, which helped her obviously capitalize but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. So there was a moment where Alexa was attempting to do a twisted bliss off the top rope. Where Nikki got involved trying to hold down Bayley, kind of bugged it all up, and that obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So of course Bayley retained.
So Bayley retained her title.
Expect a result.
Yeah. So cuts to backstage. Ricochet's having photos taken with his new title belt, and the Good Brothers.
Oh, so before we should also mention one of the sweetest things.
Oh, yes.
So when Ricochet wins and he goes backstage and he sees the likes of the B Team and Heavy Machinery and Charlotte, oddly enough.
Yeah.
And Seth was there, and everyone's just so proud and happy and clapping. Triple H was there, and he's
big old embrace.
Hugged him like it's his dad. You know, and it's his dad seeing he's do something cool, and it was very, very awesome.
It was absolutely beautiful. It's a well-deserved title.
Yeah, and it said, like, I know even though these are pre-planned with everything, like every time you see Triple H with the NXT guys, like, you can tell he just gives the biggest amount of fucks.
Yeah.
Like, he loves NXT and he loves the NXT superstars, and he has such a personal involvement with them.
Yeah.
This was awesome to see, and I'm glad he was there to share it with Ricochet, because that's although he's not the big boss anymore for them, it's still nice to have that.
But he still cares.
That care.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. But
speaking of though, as he's going back and having a for
taking some photos taken for promo and stuff like that. The Good Brothers do jump in, so Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and they're like jumping in, trying to take photos with him, trying to like, relax, man, it's okay, calm down, and
trying to too sweet him.
And then AJ Styles walks in. He's like, how about a photo with me as well? And they get a little photo, and he's like, congratulations, all power to you, but I'll see you tomorrow night. Ooh. Looks like AJ's back, ready to wrestle, and he's picked his target. So that I was excited to watch for all the following nights. So next is the Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre with Shane McMahon in his corner.
This is the one I literally stopped caring about.
Yeah, this is where I was a bit like meh, because as soon as it, and the crowd's like, The crowd went mild.
Yeah.
I was like,
It was interesting response because as like up until this point, I'm like, I really have to piss, and I can't find a reason to leave. Like all these matches have been pretty damn good at this point, so like I don't want to miss anything. And because there's been less fluff, it's been a pretty tight show up at this point. So I'm like, I really gotta go to the bathroom. And then I'm like,
pee time.
Fuck yeah,
toilet.
going toilet. So I went and did some whiz, and then came back and vaguely cared.
Yeah, I was very sort of like meh, especially like I think when the reception of like. Everybody was like, I was like, yeah, same.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously before the bell even hits, Drew McIntyre goes on the attack, and as soon as he throws Roman Reigns in the rings, the bell is on.
Dash says, just a no thanks.
Just a no thanks. As always, Shane got involved because Shane gets involved in everything.
And that I think that was where the match.
That's where I was like,
got wrecked because of that. So the reports that Dash whipped into me back earlier in the year were that Drew was a little unwell at WrestleMania. Apparently he had a bit of the flu.
Oh,
so he wasn't able to deliver the best match they could have. And this was a chance for them to sort of deliver it. Because on paper, these guys should kill each other and it'll be awesome. Like although that Roman isn't exceptional, Drew's fucking amazing, and Drew doesn't need the assistance of Shane McMahon to be able to win a killer match.
Exactly it, which definitely prompted the very accurate chants of "This is awful," and there was a bunch of Roman sucks chants as well. I was like, oh damn, they are not liking this at all.
Yeah, it's disappointing because there was a time where like they were, up and they were booking Roman right.
Yeah.
Since he came back.
Yeah.
Keeping him, like, giving him some edge.
Yeah.
Having him not win every time is something as well.
Yeah.
They were finally doing something right with Roman. Yeah. And having him linked in with Shane like this is not doing him any favors.
Nah. I've always found Roman a bit lackluster. He's not very good on the microphone. He's not good with speaking. His moveset is just a bit rubbish. Like the Superman punch. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just a punch in the face, but jumping. Like... Yeah. Look at me, I can jump and punch. Mortal Kombat.
I can't do either of them. So
yeah. So I find him
impressive in that sense.
Yeah. I was stoked for him to come back, obviously, with everything that happened. Like, all power to you for getting back into the ring so quickly. But I do find him very lackluster and straight up boring. And I saw this coming a long time ago. The crowd's gone mild for him pretty quickly. Yeah. And it's been pretty consistent.
And Drew McIntyre had such a solid run at the end of last year and the start of this year, and it really feels like the Scotto psychopath has had his fangs removed.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't seem to have that edge and that
That's
punch.
scary,
there was a time where he just fucked up everyone that was in his path.
Yeah.
And that made him similar to Samoa Joe. It made him like an actual monster.
Shattered Braun Strowman's elbow.
Yeah, and someone that you want to be fearful of. And it's not. Now he's just a guard dog for a fuckhole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that
exactly good. But yeah, all I've got here is like Shane got a coast to coast in at some point, and Roman won with a spear.
Yeah.
Got a spear and got the pin. I'm pretty sure after probably dozing the shit out. I'm pretty sure he got like 2 Superman punches in a row out on Shane or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it was a match.
Sweet. I'm not glad it was there.
So next was the steel cage match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler.
No.
Yeah, straight away, like there was just Dolph was on. Look, it was a bit repeaty, but I was a bit more engaged because steel cages, if you don't want to see somebody getting thrown into a steel cage. There was a bit there where Kofi did like a slingshot thingy on Dolph, and Dolph didn't hit the cage wire. He hit the support beam that holds the 2 panels together.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, head first into it. I was like, oh, he's dead. Like, it was pretty brutal. It was a brutal match. Dolph was like trying to run up the side of the cage straight away. Kofi was chasing him. There was a point there where like Dolph was out and Kofi managed to yank him back in and pull him off the top. But yeah, Dolph just kept trying to waltz out the door. Eventually like I was a bit sort of zoned out after the other match, but there was some beautiful like super kicks from Dolph. There was, Kofi going for the Trouble of Paradise a couple of times and missing because Dolph was just like, I know what you're doing. But yeah, the end of the match, this is what surprised me. This is why I was like, holy shit. Like, it looked like Dolph had kicked Kofi off of him. Kofi was trying to drag him back from climbing out of the door of the ring. He was like crawling to the edge. Kofi was dead. Kofi was gone. Dolph was halfway out the door. He had the match won. And next minute, Kofi just springs up out of nowhere. Suicide dives through the middle rope, out the door, onto the floor first to retain his title.
Yeah, and the risky thing is like he jumped through, his foot hit that rope, and he almost ate shit.
He did almost eat shit.
Like, he's like, you see him hit, and he's like, what would have been enough to brace himself was kind of flung forward, and he almost landed on his head.
Yeah.
Pretty gnarly. Dash in the chat says, Kofi Mania is done. Let it go, please.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
I think there's one thing left, which we'll...
Well, yeah, so, there's one more match coming up, which we'll talk about in the next episode.
Yes.
And that I want to see, only because I want that belt to change hands to that person.
Yeah. And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I certainly... I was talking to a gentleman at work, and he thinks that Kofi will retain until the end of the year, until Survivor Series. I'm like, fuck, no, I'm bored of it already.
I don't think it's going to
Well, I thought he wouldn't have it longer than a month, but there's that, and because we were discussing... Because we should be hearing more about WWE 2K20 soon. And we were discussing who would be the cover artist. So who would be the cover superstar.
Yeah.
He thinks it would be Kofi. I think it's Becky.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I definitely can agree with that.
Because previously, like, the campaigns have never had a woman in them.
Yeah.
Women's wrestling.
She headlined WrestleMania this year.
Women's wrestling is as strong as it's ever been.
Yeah.
So if I was 2K... the 2K team here, I would get them to put a female in the main. To be able to put the main campaign can play as male and or female.
Yes.
And you put Becky on the front cover.
Yeah,
because that's fucking awesome. Put her as I think the first female star on the cover.
Yeah.
Win, like, that's 2 boxes right there. 2K20. It's it's a pretty impressive number. Stamp it properly.
Yeah.
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 Even if you have to put Becky 2 belts on there, and you put Becky 1 belt on there, that is a much better result. Because I think her because her run within the last year up until WrestleMania is one of the best runs.
Definitely.
Ever. Even though Kofi's run was awesome, it happened by accident.
Yeah.
And there is like such an awesome thing here with Becky. So if you wanted to,
Kobe's had it happen really quickly where Becky has that full lead up.
So if you have a in the main campaign, sorry, not the main campaign, in like the showcase mode, they kind of play with whoever's the cover artist. Yeah. The cover superstar. Yeah. So if they were to, Becky's story is way more impressive than Kofi, especially because you're not going to play 11 years of matches.
Yeah, exactly.
If you play 6 months worth of matches or a year's worth of matches, it's a much better result.
Yeah, definitely.
Killer says Kofi's losing the belt at SummerSlam at the latest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either Extreme or SummerSlam. One of the two.
I don't think Kofi Mania is dead yet. I think it's definitely dying, especially because throughout the match, like, the crowd was so mixed. It was mixed with people chanting for Dolph and chanting for Kofi. It was very, very mixed.
But there was absolutely zero chance that Dolph is taking that belt. Like, you can,
no chance at all.
Dolph came in here as emergency pull.
Yeah.
He came in because someone needed to fill the spot that Kevin Owens wouldn't go to Super Showdown. Yeah. And that's what it is. And they've essentially booked him again to prove that they didn't book him for one show. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. But obviously, once Kofi wins the match, the New Day to come running down there, celebrating together.
And Xavier's all strapped up too.
Yeah, he was all strapped up. As they get to the top of the ramp, Charlie does come out to interview them. She's like, what does the future hold? Kofi doesn't answer the question. He's like, basically, I did what I said I'd do. And
I thought someone was going to jump him at that point.
Yeah. He's like,
Dash comes in and goes, they need someone on fire right now. And I don't think it's smart business to have Kofi walk into SummerSlam with the belt.
Yeah.
Poster boys will always sell pay-per-views. And Killer mentions the spoilers first.
Yes.
So we won't get
which we'll get to that. Basically, Kofi's just like, he doesn't answer the question, like, what does the future hold? He's just like, I respect Dolph. He gave me 100%. He's an amazing wrestler. But, I did what I said I was going to do. And
kick his ass.
Yeah, and then they leave. So this cuts to Drew and Shane McMahon backstage, and Drew's like chucking a fit, throwing shit and stuff like that. And Kayla's like, look, how do you feel about tonight? And he's like, Shane's pissed. He's like, you know what? Like, I want a rematch. It's going to be me. Like, Roman Reigns is going to take on it's going to be a handicap match, 2-on-1, me and Drew versus Roman Reigns tomorrow night. Like, and I was like, oh God, really? Again? I didn't care. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, they're really trying to sell Raw.
Yeah, they're really
They really want people to watch.
And then that little exchange brings us
again.
into the final match of the night, which is the WWE Universal Championship match of Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin, who has a special guest referee.
Yeah, so Seth comes in first, hanging the chair. Looked to be a fresh chair. I thought it would have been awesome if he bought the same banged up chair from the week before. That would have been great.
Yeah.
So he comes in with the chair, does the thing, he drops a promo, yeah?
Yeah. So Corbin was like about to announce. They did the intros. Corbin's about to announce his special referee, and Seth just like goes at him with the chair, and he's just like, "I'm sick of your fucking games. I don't give a shit. Like, just let's get this going." And Corbin's like, "Well, before you interrupted so rudely, I want to introduce."
So before we jump in there, so we had different predictions here.
Yes.
Like, so I thought Brock Lesnar may have come in, sort of like potentially, have that looming fear over Seth.
Yes.
So that way, if whoever won could get boosted.
Yeah.
Which is certainly concerning.
Yeah. Which I was on the similar boat.
Because like even if Baron Corbin won, he just fucking wrecks Baron Corbin. So A, I get the satisfaction of Baron Corbin winning, and then 2, he gets wrecked and he loses the belt. So like everyone's like, "Oh, Baron, yeah!" Because like, and then it's weird
and
because
it gives Brock a weird
Brock
push.
actually gets yayed.
Yeah.
And like, because we've seen, and there could be another feud there. There could be Seth and Baron trying to get both get at Brock.
Yeah.
And we could see a triple threat there in the future.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
It's to give something that we have seen and haven't seen.
Yeah. I did have a bit of a laugh with this though, because as Seth was chasing,
who do you think it was going to be?
I said the same, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. So the other predictions out there was Bray Wyatt. This is how he comes out with doing his hurt heel sort of gimmick in the ring.
I think
as
you
a
might
ref.
have mentioned that.
Sounds like me.
Yeah.
And the other one I heard was Triple H as well. Would have been a good one
because
he would be coming in as the authority as well as a friend of Seth's. So it's kind of down the middle. Comparatively.
Yeah. Dash believes that Brock should go after Kofi.
But take the belt to Fox in October.
Yes. But yeah, I did have a bit of a giggle because as Seth was chasing Baron
with the wild card
chair,
rule, he could go after both.
Exactly.
As in, he could take the Universal Championship, then go to SmackDown, fucking become a Brock 2 belt.
Yes.
Could happen.
That's true. Brock could be the one to do it.
Wild card rule.
Wild card. But yeah, as Seth was getting out of the ring with the chair, he got a call on the apron. He like stumbled with it. It was a bit funny. I couldn't help but giggle. Anyway, yeah.
So
Seth does threaten. He's like, I don't care who the referee is. They're going to meet the same fate. Baron Corbin's like, my referee is the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans.
Fuck, did I have a mixed result to this?
I was like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. And I was like, what a good fucking idea, because A, Seth won't hit her because she's a girl. B, like, as if you fucking wouldn't. Like, that was a very, like, Corbin switched on when he wants to be. Shit general manager, but he's a smart guy.
Like, as a viewer, it was that, good pick.
I think.
You
kind of already knew how it was going to go because of,
Yeah, and then because if the commentary didn't want to let you know, Seth Rollins is Becky Lynch's boyfriend. Yeah. Okay, if you didn't know it, they fucking made sure.
They made sure you knew.
Like, Becky's gonna come punch her.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna do something dirty.
Yeah,
Becky's
exactly.
Gonna come and wreck her face.
Exactly it. But yeah, at the same time, I was just like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And like for the most part, it kind of looked like Lacey was calling it down the middle at the start, and then it came to the first count, and she counted very quick for Baron Corbin. He got the first pin, and she was like, and then when it came to Seth counting, she was like, 1, 2, and then she waited for Baron to kick out. She's like, 2. It was a 2 count. And then she was one point there where she like, because she did lose to the disarm her, she was counting with that arm, and she was like, oh, my arm, and Seth's just like, you're gonna be fucking kidding me. And then there was another one where like I think Baron Corbin, like she turns around and she's like, this is like Baron Corbin was out. Like Seth had put him through the announce table. He was out, and Lacey
got to the 9 count. And
she was yelling at Lacey. First, Seth was yelling at Lacey to count, and then she was finally like 1, 2, and she got to like 8. I think it was 9.
Actually to 9.
Oh, she did, and then she's like, actually, nah, this match is no countouts now. Like, make it official. Like,
I was the timekeeper.
Yeah, and Seth's just like, oh fuck, here we go. And then later in the match, like they're outside the ring, and Corbin does get a chair and starts beating into Seth, and Lacey pretends she doesn't see it, and she's like filing her nails or something, and then she's like, "What are you doing with the chair? Like, get it out of the ring." Like, really, like to Corbin, like, come on now. You know what? Struts over to the ring announcer and she's like, "This is a no DQ match. Anything goes. Make it official now."
Yeah, the second I heard that, I'm like, Becky's coming.
Yeah. And then Seth like does get in her face and she's like, "Come on, hit me, come on, I dare you, hit me." And Seth's like, "I'm not gonna hit you, but I'm gonna stand here angrily at you." And then she like slaps him in the face and he's like, "Is that all you got?" So she slaps him again. He's like, "Ooh," and then she like gives him a kick to the gut and then a low blow. And then everybody's chanting, "We want Becky," and then that's where Becky Lynch comes fanging it down and she just rips Lacey apart. Beautifully just tears her apart.
Like pegs her out of the ring.
Yeah, beats the living shit out. They have to get like 3 officials to get Becky off of Lacey. And then they get an official back in the ring.
And the same ref from Super Showdown.
Yeah, so referee John Cone is his name. The guy that Baron Corbin claims cost him the championship at Super Showdown. And yep, beautiful, just plain straight up. Like, Seth capitalizes on this distraction of John Cone standing there in front of Seth Rollins, in front of Baron Corbin. And then, 1, 2, 3, Seth Rollins retains his title with the help of Becky Lynch.
There was a nice exchange there.
Yeah.
Once again, in case you're sure they weren't banging, you now know they're banging.
Yeah, exactly it. It was absolutely beautiful. Like, Becky like slaps Seth on the ass at one point, and then she like holds the ring open
as they
for him
as
to
they
get
go
out.
to walk. I wish she brought the belt out with her because that would have been a good shot.
That would have been
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Like, it's
her
there doing this, which is very nice. But if she had the belt as well, it would have been like, we're fucking got the belts.
The champion
but I guess we'll
couple.
see that come.
But yeah, absolutely beautiful. Super cute to see them walking out together. Yeah.
And like it was lovely
in
terms of like of its delivery. It wasn't too much.
Yes.
It wasn't like that snog. It wasn't Edge and Lita banging in the ring.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Yeah. It's not over. Yeah. Like I was expecting them to like at least have a little peck, but not a little kiss on the head and stuff like that. A little cuddle. It was really, really PG, which was really nice. Yeah. Like it was. Yeah, very cute.
Because I'm pretty sure, like at work, because once again we watched this at work with the guys because they like wrestling too, and I'm pretty sure we were all yelling "Snog, snog,
make out,
kiss each other, and they didn't. We're all disappointed.
But it was really good. It was a great way to end the show. Them sort of at the top of the ramp, like seeing each other out, absolutely beautiful.
But that brings it to the end of the pay-per-view. Like I said, it was a pretty solid show.
For the most part it was pretty solid. Obviously it did have its down points, but overall, honestly, I think even though it did have some down points for the inaugural, the one and only Stomping Grounds, I'm gonna give it 2 Kurt Angles. 2
Kurt Angles.
Yeah, I was really impressed. Like I said, even though it did have its down points, I was more impressed than I was disappointed. So I think I'm definitely going to give that 2 Kurt Angle. It's going to be hard to match.
Yes, we should also always mention that our 2 Kurt Angle here it's a pay-per-view. It means we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves.
I did thoroughly enjoy it. And I did go back and watch it today as well.
Oh, nice.
So, I've watched it twice now because I was like, you know what? I was interested in this enough to watch most of it twice. You know, there was that one match with Shane McMahon.
For myself, it's a Kurt and a bar.
Yeah.
It's a 1.5 out of 2. It was solid. Like I said, it felt really tight. It felt like a really good show.
Great run,
up until that middle. Like it felt like a good use of my time. I mean, like sometimes when it feels like, they're just kind of tiddling shit around, it's like, all right, come on, get to it. Like at least those first half, up until the likes of Drew and Roman, it felt tight. It felt respectful of my time. The matches were kind of long, but it was a good long.
Yeah,
like I didn't.
It kept you engaged long.
Yeah, and then once Drew and Roman got in, I got bored, and then Dolph and Kofi were kind of boring up until right at the end.
Yeah.
And Seth and Baron were cool, but it's one of those things. I was like, the only thing that got me excited, because I was like, oh, well, if Lacey's involved, then Baron may leave with the belt, and that's what I want. Like, everyone's shitting on Baron Corbin. Like, no, I was like, I'll stop watching you. I'm like, no, give me fucking Baron Corbin.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
belt. Like that. Like,
He's got the right heat to carry it right now.
Fuck yeah, he does. And that is an outcome that I think would be awesome.
I definitely think that Baron Corbin is going to hold a belt sometime soon. I just don't know which one.
Yeah, I don't know. But the thing though, like once you've been in the run for the big belt, like, do you then go down to the United States belt? Like,
why the frick not?
He's already held it. Like, he's in the intro, like, he's a two-time Universal.
Yeah.
Sorry, two-time United States champion.
Which I don't see why not, because then you can sort of like fake people out and be like, oh, I'm just going to go back to the mid cards, and then just out of nowhere take somebody's huge title. Like, you know. Who knows?
I don't know. But let us know what you thought of the inaugural Stomping Grounds in the comments below, Facebook group, Discord, or you can, of course, harass us on Twitter. But yeah, so as we'll wrap this bad boy up and head into the next show, which is this week's episode of Raw and SmackDown. This is where I give you that usual spiel, even though I'm assuming you're probably going to go straight to the next one. So this is The Young and the Rest. This happens every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast service of choice, including Spotify, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to, as I said, Facebook, Discord, Twitter. Links are all in the description below. There's also an email there if you want to give us just move an email.
Yeah,
hey man,
you can do it anonymously.
And of course, you also have popcultures.com/questions.
Yes.
If you want to reach out to us with that email or something a little bit more private. Yeah, certainly way. Yeah, and anonymity is cool. If you want to support us in some dollar-do values and watch us record the show live, you can head over to patreon.com/popculture. So support us at any tier, and you get yourself a nice little sneaky link to come and watch us record the show. Get your thoughts involved, drop them in the chat, and have a damn good time. Yeah. If you want to support us in more one-off fashion, head to popcultures.com/shop. Buy shirts and other sort of shit with our logos on it. We're also on Twitch, twitch.tv/thepopcultures. And until literally 10 minutes from now, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm Jem.
And we'll see you, in about 10 minutes.
Bye.
Not even.